Hello everyone and welcome to episode 14 of Strat Watch. So here we go again, we're going to do another stratospheric update for you. We are up to update number 17. Now we would normally have not these on the head, but we have got a sudden stratospheric warming event, major sudden stratospheric warming event on the way in the next week or so. We're going to carry on with Strat Watches this week and next week just to chart that. And then next week's 15th Strat Watch will be the end of Strat Watch. So I'm going to bring you up to date with all the latest stratospheric developments in a moment. Of course, we are going to look at a historic winter as well, as we have done throughout the season of Strat Watch. This week we're looking at 2001, actually. So I should get on that for you in a moment. Just to say, but first, a video today was our 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. It's a 10 to 14 day video, not live stream, coming up to you later on today as well. Please like, share, and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thanks so much, everyone, for doing that, for GavsWeatherVids. Thanks so much, everyone. Right, going to start off with the current situation in terms of temperature at 10 HPA over the Arctic and over the North Pole. So this is coming from the JMA. This is showing how temperatures have been performing throughout this season. So the black line is the temperature at 10 HPA through the season. The grey line is the trend line. So we started off very close to average in the very early part of the season, but around sort of around late October, early November, we go colder than average, and we say colder than average right the way through to early February. The first minor warming of the stratosphere of the winter occurred there in the first to second week of February, up towards the middle part of the month. Wasn't sustained, and then it went cold average again. Have had another tick up over the past week, so we did go a little bit above average again. Black line currently has ticked back down to the grey line and is about average. So some slightly warmer stratospheric temperatures at 10 HPA over the past month or so, but really has been a cold year, for stratospheric temperatures. If we go to 30 HPA, lower down closer to the troposphere, well, there we see, but at one point around the beginning of February, actually bottomed out around -90. Gracious! Well, last few days have seen a tick up, and we have got quite close to the grey line, although still slightly underneath it. We're currently here, -70, which is still colder than average. To finally above average temperatures at 30 HPA, we've got to go back to mid to late November, just bare, and that's only very slightly, so to be solidly above average, you've probably got to go back to September to October. As I say, it's been a cold season, this, in terms of stratospheric temperatures. That explains why we have had such a strong stratospheric polar vortex. But it's all coming to an end now, and this is the reason why. Latest temperature forecast from the GFS for 10 HPA over the Arctic, North Pole, Northern Hemisphere, showing a dramatic warming event is gathering pace as we speak in the stratosphere. In the stratosphere across Russia and Siberia. Now, the blue colours here, these are the cold temperatures at their roots in the stratosphere. That is the stratospheric polar vortex, essentially. But it's the green, yellow, orange, and red colours that are interesting. Check this out. They're going to intensify further across Siberia through the course of today. And by the time we get through to Friday and the weekend, they're going to be penetrating into the North Pole itself. Gracious! And that produces a displacement event of stratospheric polar vortex. Blue colours are shoved out into North America, the Atlantic, and northern parts of Europe as well. That looks like a very, very, very dramatic warming of the stratosphere. Will reverse wind at 10 HPA, 60 degrees north, and will therefore be classified as a major sudden stratospheric warming event. That's how we look by the time we get through to the 13th of March. Again, dramatic warming has taken place, sudden stratospheric warming event, and the stratospheric polar vortex is displaced into western parts of Europe there. And a split of the stratospheric polar vortex looks like it will occur around day 10, around the middle part of March. So we've got one lobe of blue here across western parts of America, another in the North Atlantic, and in between we've got these green and yellow colours telling us about Yes, we are going to see a split event, split type stratospheric warming event as well. And then a renewed warming could take place into the second half of March. And that will focus more towards Scandinavian Svalbard. But, again, really dramatic warming taking place there around the 17th, 18th of March, for example. And that will just, reinforce the first warming, I guess, and keep it all going. So, repeated attacks on the stratospheric polar vortex here, and I reckon, by this point, which is 21st March, the SPV will be pretty much done for. We had it, I think. Why didn't all this happen in January, though? Never mind. Well, we got 100% of the GFS ensemble members going for a reversal of zonal winds at 10 HPA, 60 degrees north in the stratosphere. So we see the blue line here. This from weather is called. The blue line shows how temperature's been performing again, or the zonal wind's been performing at 10 HPA. And the green lines are the GFS ensembles. So it's all downhill all the way, really, from now onwards in terms of the zonal wind. We're expecting the zonal wind to reverse, I think, probably about the 10th of March, something like that, in about 5 days' time. And then keeping it in reversal for the extended period as well. So, I say 100% weather is cause reporting 100% probability of a reversal of zonal winds at 10 HPA, 60 degrees north within the GEFS today. EastGem extended data looking like this. So this is the 10 HPA temperature anomaly for the week of the 10th through to the 17th of March. Next week, again, we've got these vibrant, deep red colours here, which is this sudden stratospheric warming event. Week 2 looks like that again. What stratospheric warming event is maintained there over the North Pole and over the Arctic. Begins to come down a little bit into week 3, as you'd expect. That's the 24th to the 31st March. Just starting to see that beginning to come down. Then go through to the next week, which is going to be week 4. And again, just bring the temperature down a little bit, but the damage has been done by this point, of course, and that's how looking to get through to the final week, which is the 7th through to 14th of April. Then the temperatures have gone to about average. In terms of the zonal wind forecast for the next few weeks, well, very dramatic developments as well. After this incredibly strong season for zonal winds, and we have had some amazingly strong zonal winds throughout the season, it's downhill pretty much all the way from now onwards. We're currently there with the zonal winds, so still stronger than average, have been through most of the winter. The red line there is average. So we're going to see the zonal wind going into reverse. The ensemble plume is correct. I think it will be around the 10th of March. Really bottoming out at a low level. This could be one of the strongest recorded sudden stratospheric warming events on record in terms of the reversal of the zonal wind at 10 HPA. And then very interestingly, it's a little bit hard to make out, but the thick blue line, which is the ensemble mean, that is actually staying below average, or below the zero line, telling us that zonal winds are staying in reverse from the 10th of March onwards, basically, through to the very end. So not only is this a sudden stratospheric warming event, it is also, if that forecast is right, it is only forecast, but if forecast is right, this is also the final warming of the stratosphere. Now, the final warming of the stratosphere normally happens through climatology, just the fact that the northern hemisphere is generally warming up through the spring. So that normally happens like mid to late April, early May, that sort of time. Now, this will be a very, very early final warming of the stratosphere if it does occur through this sudden stratospheric warming event. So all very interesting, all rather exciting developments, and that's the reason we've carried on Strat Watch beyond the winter for episodes 14, and next week we'll do episode 15, which will be the final Strat Watch of the season, just to chart that the SSW did finally happen, albeit it was outside of meteorological winter, but still within astronomical winter. So we shall keep updated. Of course, we're waiting for a tropospheric response. Let's very quickly go back here. Shall we? Actually, we're going to go there, and then we're going to go to there. So let's see if there's any sign of a tropospheric response, I should say. So mean sea level pressure anomalies for week 1, 10th to 17th of March, showing a blocking signal around Iceland. However, I think that probably isn't down to the SSW. I think that's too early to be a tropospheric response. Week 2 backs up that theory as we go back into westerly winds. That's the 17th to 24th of March. Week 3, I shouldn't have gone off on this tangent, should I? Shows low pressure to the north, high pressure south. Still no tropospheric response there in the last week of March. That's week 1, 2, 3, 4. Week 4 is 31st March, 7th of April. Now we're seeing some higher pressure towards the Canadian side of Greenland. Could that be start of a tropospheric response? And then blocking signal continues with week 5, which is the 7th to 14th March. That could be a tropospheric response with some blocking around Greenland and Iceland. So this could all be shaping up, but quite a chilly, maybe quite cold sort of first half of April. I wouldn't rule out, despite what that showed, I wouldn't rule out like the last week, 10 days or so of March as well, possibly having some northern blocking. But it'll be interesting to see whether we do get a tropospheric response. Of course, not every SSW, not every sudden stratospheric warming event has a tropospheric response. I think this will because it's also very, very strong SSW, and given it's probably going to be a split type event in the end as well, I think we will get a tropospheric response, but we won't know, until we get into late March or early April whether the trop has responded. So we shall see, and time will tell. Right, let's just have a quick look at a past historic winter. This week we're looking at 2001, starting off from a Strat perspective, starting off on the 1st of December with actually quite interesting chart. For the 1st of December, this is very unusual, with some sort of warming taking place over Russia there. Now, I was online for this winter. I can't remember, though, whether we looked at the stratosphere a great deal back then. But anyway, going into the 5th of December, and we see further warming there over Russian Siberia. Blue-purple colours, of course, is the stratospheric polar vortex bow. Let's go through to the 8th of December. Oh, wow, well, very early warming of the stratosphere taking place there over Russia. I do kind of remember at the back of my mind, actually, I remember I used to, back then, I would have been on the Weather Outlook forum and also on the BBC bulletin page, it's slightly different. It wasn't a forum, but it was kind of like a page where everybody just posted together. Can't remember what they would have called it now. But and there were lots of characters on that, I could tell you. But I came across a forecast called Tom Prezzuti. He was a young man who used to do. Everybody remembers Tom Prezzuti? Let me know in the comments. There will be one or two, I'm sure, if you remember Tom Prezzuti. So he was a young man who did long-range forecasts at the time. That's the first time I ever came across like a long-range forecaster online with him. And I do kind of remember at the back of my mind, I think I remember him, getting quite excited about a sudden stratospheric warming taking place during December 2000, actually. So, back in the day. That's the 13th of December. I remember starting to bring the temperature down a little bit over Russian Siberia, but displacement event has taken place of stratospheric polar vortex towards Canada and into the North Atlantic as well. That probably wouldn't have reversed the zone wind, but it was quite a significant warming. That's the 15th of December. Now, another warming started to appear over eastern parts of America. This was an interesting winter, 2000-2001, because although it wasn't particularly cold, really, historically, it was quite a cold winter for the era, for like late 90s, early 2000s, which wasn't a period of generally mild winters most of the time. This was a rather colder one for the UK, particularly for Scotland, actually. That's the 17th of December, and we see another warming is building up there through the North Atlantic towards Greenland, and over. We've still got the first warming left over across Russia as well. So it looks like we're about to split the SPV there, doesn't it? Stratospheric polar vortex. That is the 18% with a split of the polar vortex. Would be to reverse the zonal wind at 10 HPA 60 degrees north, therefore be a technical SSW. I think it might have done. As I remember, I can remember very, very vaguely. It was a long time ago, and I was young, man. I was only like 23 or something. I'm 47 now. Oh, man. But I do kind of remember very, very vaguely an SSW in December 2000. So that's the 19th of December. Nice warming of the stratosphere going on there. We have split the stratospheric polar vortex as well. That's the 20th of December. I think by this point we probably would have reversed the zonal wind at 10 HPA 60 degrees north as well. That's the 21st of December. So the stratospheric polar vortex now is kind of like spiraled off in towards the Pacific side of Canada and the Arctic there, hasn't it? Let's go to Christmas Day of 2000, see how that's looking. Well, now we're beginning to get the stratospheric polar vortex starting to get back to a more typical position, but I suppose the damage has been done. At this point, the pattern has changed, I remember that. So, December 2000, very, very mild, wet, continuation of the autumn pattern, essentially, with lots of very mild, wet and windy weather through the first half of December 2000. And then, it's in the third week of month leading up towards Christmas, but it turned drier and a bit colder and frosty. And then over the Christmas week, it actually got very cold, and there was even some snow around the 28th of December via, a Greenland high and like a polar low, I think it was, but delivered some snow. So sorry, everyone. And then it was cold on and off through the remainder of winter. So that SSW, if it was an SSW, I think it was, that SSW in December 2000 was a bit of a game changer for that winter. As I say, it was a particularly cold winter by historic standards, but for the era, it was a colder winter. We're into January now, and, stratospheric polar vortex well and truly reformed, so it was a killing blow for it. I suppose that explains why the cold was rather on and off, rather than, a locked-in fashion, because although we did get an SSW in December 2000, it wasn't, a killing blow for the stratospheric polar vortex, and it did come back. Right, we're at the middle of January now, some sort of warming beginning to reappear over Russia there. 19th of January, intensifying that a little bit over Siberia. Could that be another SSW starting to get going? Well, this one quite dramatic. It's 26th of January, so warming all the way from southern Europe right the way around towards the Pacific side of the Arctic as well. Is that another SSW gathering pace? So, actually not. 29th of January looking like that. I wouldn't get any more stratospheric developments through this winter. That's the 31st of January. Oh, well, now it's starting to look a lot more dramatic again over Russia, and another warming beginning to gather down across southern Europe with displacement of the stratospheric polar vortex. And we'll just go through to February and have a quick look at that. So, now the stratospheric polar vortex is stretched to its absolute limits by this warming over Russia and the Canadian side of the Pacific side of the Arctic, and this very minor warming across southern parts of Europe. 4th of February 2001 looking like that. What about the 7th of February 2001? Oh, the stratospheric polar vortex is still holding on by its fingertips, isn't it? Still there across North Europe and the North Atlantic, but I would imagine at this point we have got very weak zonal winds and whatnot. That's the 10th of February, still with some sort of legacy of the SPV there sitting over Western Europe. Valentine's Day 2001 looked like that. We can't quite get rid of the stratospheric polar vortex, can we, in this winter? It really has had a battering as well. This is the 18th of February, another dramatic warming, this time focused across Europe and Western Russia by the look of it. Quite an unusual place to start dramatic warming through there. That is the 20th of February, so SPB kind of pushed over toward the Canadian side of Greenland. Again, still not quite killed off. 25th of February 2001. Actually, it's coming back again. It's not a polar vortex of doom this winter, but it's like the SPB but won't die. Despite everything but it's been through. It really has been through the ringer right from the start of the winter. That's the final day of February 2001. I'll just go through to March, see if anything happened in March of 2001, and then we'll call it a day. So that's the 3rd of March. That's the 8th of March. This is the 13th of March. No, we still have that SPV continuing, don't we? Albeit at a very weaker rate. 16th of March, 20th of March. Do we ever get rid of it? Will it ever go? That's 28th of March. Still there, isn't it? So it was the SPV but wouldn't die. But I suppose that is the reason that the cold in that winter for 2001. I say it was a colder winter for the era, but it wasn't, a locked-in cold winter, and it was very much in an on-off type fashion, and that is probably going to be the reason why I want to see this kill. So that is the 20th of April. By now, the temperature's just coming up through seasonality, really. So at this point, I would imagine that the stratospheric polar vortex is pretty much done for. That is the 30th of April. And that's, more typical for what would happen at the end, for the final warming and the end of the stratospheric polar vortex. It normally just sort of fizzles out, really, as you get through March and into April. But this year, looks like we're going to get rid of the SPB in a very dramatic fashion through a major sudden stratospheric warming, and then we don't reverse the zonal wind, or we don't see the zonal wind going positive again through the remainder of the season. So we'll see how it all works out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed episode 14 of Strat Watch. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much for doing that. We've got episode 15, the final episode, charting the SSW, and will have happened by that point. So we'll have the final episode for this season of Strat Watch for you next week. That'll be episode 15. We're going to be back later. We just said 14 day. Come back for that later. For this one though, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you with more very soon. Bye for now.